Good morning slash afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Sarah Wade. I'm the Vice President of Operations for John McKay Associates, and we are so pleased to welcome you to the awarding of the 2025 NMA Housing Awards. Before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. Since there are a number of us on this call, if you could please mute your microphone until and unless it is your turn to speak, that will just help us keep the background noise to a minimum. So as we kick things off, I'd like to talk just a little bit about and share all the great nominees and submissions that we received for the Housing Awards this year. And for our Development Award and our small agency categories, we received nominations from the Housing Authority of the City of Alameda, Decatur Housing Authority, the Housing Alliance and Community Partnerships, Reno Housing Authority, Rock Island Housing Authority, and Washington Housing Authority. And you'll see on the next slide here just some images shared by our nominees and their submissions of some of the development activities undertaken by these housing authorities. In addition to the small agency nominees, we also received nominees from a number of large agencies, including Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority, Fairfax County Redevelopment and Housing Authority, Opportunity Home San Antonio, the County of San Joaquin Housing Authority, Santa Clara County Housing Authority, and St. Petersburg Housing Authority. And again, on the following slide, just some images of some of the development projects that were submitted by these large agencies for the Development Award. And in conjunction with the Development Award, we also have each year Resident Services Award. And this year, our small agency nominees included Bloomington Housing Authority, Evansville Housing Authority, Garden Grove Housing Authority, the Housing Authority of the City of Goldsboro, the Housing Authority of the City of Kokomo, the Housing Authority of the City of Perth Amboy, Reno Housing Authority, and the Rocky Mountain Housing Authority. And here are some images, just quick snapshots showing some of the teams and the work and the amazing work that is happening across our nation. And finally, our 2025 nominees for the Resident Service Award Large Agency included Akron Metropolitan Housing Authority, Grand Rapids Housing Commission, the Housing Authority of the City of High Point, Imperial Valley Housing Authority, Minneapolis Public Housing Authority, and Philadelphia Housing Authority. And some quick images of the work done by these agencies. In all, we were amazed by the quality of the submissions received this year and the truly incredible work being performed by housing authorities across the nation on behalf of their communities. And with that, I'd like to turn this over to John McKay, CEO of NMA McKay Associates.
Well, welcome everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. I'm John McKay. I'm the CEO of NMA McKay Associates. Just wanted to start by thanking everyone for your hard work on turning in your applications. I know it's not an easy task. We had a very large amount of amazing applications this year. So congratulations to all of you that won an award. You should be extremely proud. And I am a little under the weather today, so if I go into a coughing fit, I'm going to hand this over to Sarah to do some of the awards. But on that, before we get started on the awards, I'm going to hand it over to NMA McKay, who's going to welcome you all as well.
Good morning, everyone. As we start this day of recognition, let's take a moment to reflect on why we're here. In our regulatory world, compliance, customer service, and professionalism define what we might call our culture of excellence. But they're not just check boxes. They're the foundation of trust and accountability. But excellence becomes extraordinary when we take that next step, which you have taken, when we innovate. Innovation in housing, I think, means rethinking what's possible, transforming vacant properties into communities, connecting housing with education and jobs, and creating social programs that help families not just survive, but thrive. We're all here because we want to make a difference. That's why we chose this work. But some of you reach even higher, volunteering to make lives better, even beyond the workday, to build something new, something better. This morning, we honor those who are reshaping housing and transforming lives, the innovators who prove that within the boundaries of compliance, creativity can flourish. So thank you for leading the way, and congratulations.
All right, thank you for that. So we're going to start off with the NMA Development Awards. So the NMA Development Awards honors outstanding achievement in affordable housing. These achievements include new development or construction, green initiatives, property improvement, or outside the box financing. We have one development award for a large agency with 2,500 total units or more, and one for a small agency. So to start off, the development award for a small agency goes to the Housing Alliance and Community Partnership in Pocatello, Idaho, for their 805 North Main Community Center and housing projects. Congratulations, Housing Alliance. This multiple purpose facility integrates a community resource center with unsubsidized micro units that provide affordable, flexible housing for people not traditionally served by subsidized housing programs. Residents include Idaho State University students, seasonal workers, seniors on fixed income, and others who don't necessarily qualify for public assistance, but struggle with rising rental prices. The Community Resource Center offers centralized access to housing support, job readiness training, case management, behavioral health services, and other important services that used to be spread across the city. Occupying a formerly stagnant commercial site, the revitalized property promises to act as an anchor for increased economic development in historic downtown Pocatello. The project's success required cross-sector collaboration among many government, private, and nonprofit entities, setting a new standard for tackling future initiatives. Again, congratulations to Housing Alliance and Community Partnerships. Here to accept the award is Jared Mangum, Executive Director for Housing Alliance and Community Partnerships. Jared, would you like to say a few words?
I sure would. First of all, I'd like to thank John McKay for doing this. I think it's commendable in the industry that we work in that we highlight these situations because we're coming into a situation. Most of us know that the finances and the availability of these things are becoming more and more difficult. And when we find the collaboration and kind of think outside the box, that's where we really can start to get some things done. And I think it's great that you're highlighting these. So I wanted to first and foremost thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. And then as far as the project goes, there's just so many people to thank. The building had been vacant for 5 years. During the COVID times, Convergys was using this building and they basically told the owners that we're done. And they had 2 years left on their lease and then they didn't re-up it. So for 3 years, the building, well, for 5 years total, about 3 years, they had tried to sell it. They had tried to do so many things and they just couldn't get any traction on the building. My wife, Megan, had mentioned to me that there were some people doing developments across the country, taking malls and other larger structures and turning them into micro units. And I had got the idea primarily from that. And I kind of looked at the building and was like, that'd be a really good building. And the city of Pocatello jumped in and tried to get a bunch of us nonprofits together to look at it. And then when I got there, I was like, what if we do like some micro units, houses, and then turn it into a community center? And that was really kind of the catalyst. And then we began just working on the project. Sean and Benji gave us a $250,000 gift, and then they gave us a 0% interest for $250,000. And then we did what's called a wrap loan, which we kind of just took over the current funding, so we didn't need to come up with anything down with the mortgage, and we were able to assume that. And actually tomorrow we're having our very first event. We're having a fun run 5K and kids carnival, and then we're having a live performance from a local musician. So we are already in the process of making use of the building and making it a community center. We're starting construction very soon. We have just so many people to be grateful and thankful for. This building will be something significant in our community. And over the next 5 years, we plan on building, there's a very large lot next to it that was a parking lot that we plan on doing some more developments for. We're going to target some of the individuals that are not able to get subsidies but kind of fall through the cracks. And those are our public school system has many homeless children in it that are under 18, and they have a really difficult time finding leases. So we're working on doing a project with some local, like Bannock Youth Foundation and some of the other agencies that assist those individuals. And we're looking at doing some kind of like student housing, but for under 18. We're looking at doing something for veterans that don't qualify for federal programs. We're looking at doing some other developments over the next 5 years. So we're hoping to turn this into something quite phenomenal.
That's amazing. So, did you thank your wife for the idea? And you need to show her this recording so you can give her her props. Show that you gave her your props. So congratulations and fantastic job and great couple words right there. That was really great. So next up is our development award for the large agency, which goes to Housing Authority County of San Joaquin in California for Calaveras Quarters, a blighted motel repurposed through Project Home Key to house 69 transition-aged youth and former foster youth in private units, which builds a little bit on what he was just talking about there. The Housing Authority held itself to a high standard to ensure young adults aging out of foster care could come home to a dignified youth center living environment. From unit furnishings funded by a health plan of San Joaquin to community spaces, Calaveras Quarters was built to foster a sense of safety, respect, and empowerment. San Joaquin County has faced a critical gap in services for transition-aged youth, with nearly 30% of former foster youth experiencing homelessness within 18 months of leaving foster care. Calaveras Quarters strive to address residents' lack of adult support and meaningful opportunity with permanent, service-enriched housing. On-site services include mental health care, educational and employment support, life coaching, and tailored case management. Now, when I read this one, I thought this one was a very special one. I think we can all agree that foster youth that are aging out are definitely susceptible to homelessness and other issues. So when I read this one actually had a really special place in my heart. So I wanted to say congratulations on this one. So congratulations to Housing Authority County of San Joaquin. Here to accept the award is Jessica Kwan, Director of Occupancy and Housing Compliance for the Housing Authority County of San Joaquin. Jessica, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you. So thank you to the Nan McKay team for this award. On behalf of the county, or Housing Authority of the County of San Joaquin, we are truly honored and deeply humbled to accept this award. As we take a moment to reflect, Calaveras Quarters is more than just a housing development. It actually embodies spirit and hope, opportunity, and community. It is about the youth to see a brighter future, the families that now have a place to grow and thrive, and the countless individuals whose lives are going to be being touched by this collective effort. Everyone now has a safe and stable place to call home. Through Calaveras Quarters, we were able to transform 121 rooms from a motel into 69 affordable housing units to house 113 youth and individuals who might otherwise be homeless or at risk of homelessness. With an average household income of just over $10,000, these units represent not only shelter, but dignity, stability, and a chance for a fresh start. Calaveras Quarters is not just about the Housing Authority of the County of San Joaquin. It's about all of us. It stands as a testament to what we can achieve when partners, leaders, service providers, and community members come together to share a vision and an unwavering passion. This development reflects the heart of collaboration and a belief that progress is built when we lift each other up. On behalf of the Housing Authority of the County of San Joaquin, thank you for this award and collective effort that we made for Calaveras Quarters to make it possible. We are in acceptance of this as a conclusion, but it's a call to continue our efforts and pathways forward and opportunities for others. So thank you again.
Great. Thank you, Jessica. Great job. Our next set of awards are the NMA Resident Service Awards, which recognizes leaders in the affordable housing industry whose community outreach and similar efforts improve the futures of the families they serve. Such initiatives include self-sufficiency programs, community projects, education, or other participant initiatives. This year, in addition to our Resident Service Award for large and small agencies, we're awarding an honorable mention. So we're going to go ahead and start with that honorable mention. So first up is our Resident Service Award honorable mention, which goes to Bloomington Housing Authority for their grocery shuttle. Amid disruption to public transit, the only convenience store within walking distance for BHA residents shut down. The BHA grocery shuttle fills a critical need, offering scheduled rides to the grocery stores, as well as appointment-based trips for other needs. Resident services staff have thoughtfully optimized the shuttle program to accommodate various needs and have taken care to extend the service to all residents. Congratulations to the Bloomington Housing Authority. Here to accept the award is Ruckus Harris, Ross Resident Service Coordinator for the Bloomington Housing Authority. Congratulations, Ruckus. And would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Bloomington Housing Authority, I am honored to accept the 2025 Resident Service Honorable Mention for our grocery shuttle program. This program began as a resident service initiative to address a critical community need, and it has grown into an important resource for our residents. We were in a food desert. We've had lots of local construction that kind of blocked off usual paths, so a lot of our residents were only able to get what they could carry, and even then what they could carry a long distance. I'm especially proud that it continues today, that it has only grown and has become an ongoing resource that our tenants rely on. I'm especially thankful for our team, including my assistant Lowell, who expanded the work that I created. It went so well, I had to get help, and he took the initiative to make sure that everyone could get this service who needed it. I'm deeply grateful for the Bloomington Health Foundation, whose grant support helps make this program possible, and to Curry Auto, who partnered with us to lease the van. They've been a wonderful ally in this effort. The first van we got was a larger van that wasn't quite suited to our needs, and they put in the effort to make sure we had a minivan with stow and go and the sliding doors that made it much easier for some of our elderly residents to get in and out, and also just keep everyone's groceries separated and get home without things getting mixed up. Thank you, Nan McKay and Associates, for shining light on resident services and recognizing the impact of programs like this. Housing, it's much more than a roof over someone's head. It's about access, opportunity, and connection. And we're proud to share this honor with our residents, our partners, and our community. Thank you.
All right. Great job. Congratulations. Causing ruckus in Bloomington.
Yep.
All right, next up is our Resident Service Award for a small agency, which goes to Housing Authority of the City of Kokomo, Indiana, for the Howard County Summer Lunch Program, developed in just 3 weeks to provide more than 3,500 meals to nearly 800 children over their school break. When KHA learned that the state of Indiana had withdrawn from a funding program that provided food to eligible students over summer vacations, they had limited time to create and execute their own lunch program before the break started. Staff leveraged connections to obtain donation commitments, volunteers, and financial assistance from multiple community partners, some of whom also ran food drives to support the program. Thanks to the support of the community and the exceptional dedication of KHA employees, the Howard County Summer Lunch Program provided 5 grab-and-go lunches per child per week, as well as 1 hot meal each week for all participating students and adults. Congratulations to the Kokomo Housing Authority. Here to accept the award is Derek Steele, Executive Director of Kokomo Housing Authority. Derek, would you like to say a few words here?
Yes, thank you. I am truly honored to accept this award on behalf of the Housing Authority of the City of Kokomo. And I want to start off by thanking you, John, Nan, and everyone at Nan, McKay and Associates for taking the time to recognize the works of each of these housing authorities today. And I want to give a shout out, love seeing Bloomington, to all of the winners and nominees for doing this work. This job is difficult at times. And while recognition is not the goal of what we do, it is nice to know that your work is seen and appreciated. And I appreciate the work that everyone here has done. And I would not be talking to you today without the support and hard work of my colleagues. Everyone at KHA buys into our motto, providing housing and transforming lives. And I can honestly say I am honored to be associated with each and every amazing staff member at KHA. Whether it was leading distribution locations, passing out food, creating a spreadsheet to track our data, creating signs, or connecting with our residents to encourage participation, the strengths of the staff were on full display with the summer lunch program. I am in awe of their knowledge, creativity, and compassion. It is on that strength of those staff members that we were able to serve nearly 800 children over 3,500 meals this summer. Yet this was truly a collaborative community effort. We were able to partner with Bridgeway, Northview, and Crossroads community churches, the Howard County Health Department, the United Way of Howard and Tipton County, as well as the Center Township's trustee, to fill this gap created by the state's failure to continue with the Sunbucks program. In addition to our partners, numerous individuals, organizations, and stakeholders, such as Solidarity FCU and Duke Energy, stepped up to provide donations and their time to ensure that no child in Howard County would be forced to go hungry this summer. And I would like to close my remarks by encouraging everyone listening to continue doing the work. Each nominee and winner saw a need. We as a people have a lot of unmet needs, yet each of you did more than just see the need. You took timely action. I implore you to keep taking that action needed to meet the needs of your community. I am fortunate to be surrounded by staff who take action when it is needed, and I cannot thank them enough. Whether it's developing housing or feeding children, everyone recognized today saw a need and took the action to fill that need. Thank you, and keep doing the work.
Great. Great words, Derek, and we appreciate everything that you've done as well. All right, finally, our Resident Service Award for a large agency goes to Imperial Valley Housing Authority in California for their youth center at Austin Thomas Apartments, a collaboration with the Brawley Police Department that promotes mentorship, discipline, personal growth, and mutual trust between local youth and law enforcement. Through the Youth Center, the police department offers sports, workshops, and community service opportunities for more than 120 young residents from IVHA developments within walking distance of the center. Programs include a football club, boxing academy, explorers program, and activities organized by a crime prevention coordinator. Life lessons are an integral part of the Youth Center programming, from the teamwork and discipline involved in sports to direct mentorship that demonstrates the power of positive decision-making and personal accountability. Youth participants gain a safe space to discuss challenges and problem solve, as well as the opportunity to contribute to community well-being through service projects and put them side by side with local law enforcement. Congratulations to the Imperial Valley Housing Authority. Here to accept the award is Kirk Mann, Executive Director of the Imperial Valley Housing Authority. Kirk,
Hi, thank you. I want to thank Nan McKay for the selection for our Imperial Valley Housing Authority receiving this award. And we could not have done this without the help of the Brawley Police Department. Chief Jimmy Duran was instrumental in seeking out the building that we had. It was not being used on a daily basis. So we looked into it and we were able to remodel the building and then start using it for the youth center for various programs. And we had a JOA with the city of Brawley and also with the housing authority. So our board of commissioners approved that along with the city council. So that was our first step. And then we just kept working with it. And we had a report from the, excuse me, chief of police last month's board meeting. And originally we were expecting maybe hopefully up to 120 children in the community that were participate in this. And we're actually over 400 now. So it's really grown.
Wow.
And they've had people from other communities seeking how did we do this, and give some pointers for maybe their community. Some in California, some out of state has even reached out to Chief Duran. And there's another facility we have. So we have Austin Thomas is a USDA property. Next to it, it's a state program from HCD. And then next to that is a mobile home park that we have. And then south of that is some public housing. And then we have another rural development property along down the street. And so we have a lot of families live in the area, but we have families that are not in our communities that also participate. But we have a green space that's by the mobile home park. So in addition to the youth center, we have a green space that they use for soccer practice throughout the year. So that's another thing that is helping all the kids. One of our commissioners went down the street one evening and asked one of our staff members, what's going on out there? And they were practicing, but they saw the cars in the neighborhood, like along the street. And it was amazing to see all that activity out there. So anyway, we're hoping to continue this program. And if we have opportunities throughout our other locations of the county, maybe we can duplicate that too. So again, on behalf of our Board of Commissioners, our staff, we thank Nan McKay and congratulate all the other applicants and the winners today. Thank you.
Great. Great job, Kurt. All right. Well, that's it for all of our awards today. In closing, I again wanted to thank all of the nominees and especially those who won awards today. Your dedication and continued support of our local communities is critical to the success of our country. Again, thank you for attending the NMA Housing Awards. Congratulations once more to our winners, and I'll hand it back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We appreciate your time, and congratulations again. And have a great Friday.
Have a great weekend, everyone.